Hi FlossTube. This is gonna get easier, right? Whew. Anyway, I'm Mel from Mel's Travel and Stitching, recording today from my living room in Lake Tahoe, California. Welcome. And welcome back. You guys, all your comments and encouragement has really been amazing, so thank you. In my last video, I talked about my Spirit of Cross Stitch needlework competition, failed attempt of entering my Night Flight Witch, and yeah, so I didn't enter. I went to Spirit of Cross Stitch in 1996, 97, and 98, and I did not enter any pieces. Again, I have entered my county fair, my state fair in the early 2000s, and that's a story for another day. But what I'm going to show you today are my entries from this year's county fair. First up, I'm going to explain. So the categories in the fair are the broad counted thread division is divided into linen and then basically everything else. So Ada, but that also includes lugana, jobelin, you know, all the even weaves, which I think is very strange, but that's how it is. So in this year's fair, I hadn't really stitched any pieces to enter into the fair, so it was coming up, and I thought, you know what, I said last year when I went, there was hardly any needlework. I really just need to go ahead and put some pieces in to keep people stimulated and, you know, yeah, just put it out there. Fill up the space in the beautiful Home Arts building. So I looked at all my finishes and sifted through what I had, and I actually had a piece of non-linen. I normally stitch on linen, but I stitched a piece called Let It Snow. This is by the Tiny Modernist, and it's on 28 count black lugana, which I hated, still hate. It's 3 colors of DMC as charted. Just a little stitch that I did during the Olympics. I had the fabric laying around and the thread, and I had spare time on my hands watching the Olympics, so I just pumped this out. This is framed in a ready-made frame that I got from TJ Maxx. It was kind of a darker gray color, and I wanted the white to pop, so I chalk painted it with just some chalk paint from Michael's. You can see the paint job was damaged by the fair people, but anyhow. So this was my single entry into the non-linen category, framed. Okay, so once you get into the framed, I guess there's framed and non-framed pieces. So within the framed pieces, you have the linen and then everything else. So I have one piece of everything else, and then it's further divided by size. So 12 inches and under is a category. Above 12 inches to 48 inches is called medium category, and then above 48 inches, oh my God. Like, you should just win a prize for entering that category. I can't imagine. I've actually never seen a piece there that's that large. But anyway, then each category is judged with a 1 through 3, first, second, third place, and then honorable mentions. And this piece got second place. So, yay, second place. And here's my ribbon. Yay. The judge this year was a professional needlework judge. So the pieces are all judged at once. You can go and watch the judging. I wasn't available to do so, but she writes notes on the back of the label, and this says, cross stitches well executed, really nice job laying threads. Yeah, pretty cool considering I didn't plan on entering this into a competition, but it was fun and pretty cool that I got second place. Yay. As you can imagine, the largest category based on the number of entries is the linen category of 12 inches and under, and that's the design size, not the total frame size. So I entered the maximum number of pieces that you can in a class, and that's 3. So went through my stash and also decided what I wanted to frame up at that time. So we have rainbow trout. Pretty cute, huh? And then we have Coho Salmon. Also cute. Neither one of those pieces ribboned. They were both honorable mentions, and no comments were made on the tag. Then we have a piece that was my just under 12 inches category on linen, and it's called Lodge Sampler. And this piece got 3rd place. Cool, huh? And the notes from the judge say just a couple of stitches in middle where something is lost, a stitch is misshaped, outlining well done. And I agree. I think you can see, this is what I imagine, there's some misshaped stitches in there. But, you know, pretty fun. These 3 pieces, the fish and the Lodge Sampler, are from a booklet called The Lodge Look that I've had, let's see, the copyright is 1994, so mid-90s. And I started stitching this. It was one fall. We were heading off to our secret hiding place in the Caribbean to go for our annual trip, late summer, fall kickoff trip to relax. And I just really felt like stitching something, and I didn't like any of my whips. And so I went through my collection of charts, and this is what spoke to me. So I started it in September of 2015, and I only worked on this piece pretty much while we were on vacation or traveling. It was not a piece, I did work on it some at home, but mainly it was while we were gone. So I did not finish it until September 2017, and I kind of timed it so that I would finish it back in our secret hiding place and make it tidy that way. Anyway, so I also don't keep things really kitted up, so I don't have a stash to pull from. So when I got this chart out, of course, you know, it was a couple hours before we were going to leave for the airport. And I pulled the threads, the DMC threads, and then we had to go to Michael's to pick up fabric. So I was very limited and my selection, and I did stitch it on this 28 count Lugana Irish linen. You know, it's fine. I would probably choose different fabric if I had a selection, but it was fun. And the fish were fun, and I didn't stitch them for competition. It's just how, what bubbled to the top for, ramble. So I had to take a break, and then when I came back, I actually forgot to hit the record button. So yeah, this is take 2. Anyway, I just wanted to show this piece again and let you know. My husband dubbed this canoe and paddle the Bermuda rectangle because I ended up picking this out 3 times, so therefore I stitched it 4 times. I got the spacing off. The acorns got stitched twice. This piece was quite the challenge. And also the cabin, the chart has Anchor and DMC floss listed. I have DMC, so The cabin colors that were the DMC conversion were terrible. And that's, of course, where I started. I started this piece in the middle while we were on our trip, and I hated it. So when we got home, I ripped it out and used the Anchor colors. It was mainly these tans and lighter browns that did not convert well. So if you do want to stitch this piece, I would go ahead and do the Anchor colors. I tried to convert to the Anchor numbers to DMC better, and some of them are DMC, some I just ended up getting the actual Anchor color. So I found that when I fall in love with a model picture, generally speaking, I like to stitch it in the fiber that the artist designer has chosen, because that's why I chose the chart. And this one in particular, the browns, but you know, browns can be tricky with pinks and so forth. So anyway, there's that piece. So then we move on to the linen category class over 12 inches, and I happen to have a piece. It is called Fir Tree Welcome by designer Lili Soleil. She was, her patterns, her charts were for sale on the Creative Poppy website. And all the trees are different. It's all basic cross stitch, pretty much. And I love how it turned out. This is only 3 colors of DMC on 32 count Lambswool. So, really fun piece to stitch. I would stitch this piece over again. I'd like to try some variegated threads for the green. And it was a pretty quick stitch. Super, super fun. Really happy with how it turned out. And, drum roll please, I got first place. Yes, my first blue ribbon since winning the science fair in 8th grade. Yeah, so really fun. The judges' comments are excellent thread coverage, well executed stitches, lovely presentation. So cool. But you know, in all fairness, this is the least entered, or one of the least entered categories. But unfortunately, Lili Soleil seems to have evaporated off the planet. I've been in touch with Creative Poppy to ask about her charts and if others are available, and they basically said she had to close her business suddenly, and I asked for contact information and they didn't reply. So if any of you guys have any Lili Soleil charts that you want to sell, I'd love to buy them. I love her style, and this is the only one I have. So yeah, and maybe it would win another first place. Okay, so that's finishes from earlier in 2018 and 2017. Because that's one of the rules of the fair, is that it has to be finished in the last 2 years. So, all right, on to my new finishes. I showed you last time my drawn thread autumn welcome, and I got it complete. So, really, really enjoyed this. I think this would be a good piece for a stitcher who was thinking about kind of upping their game from basic cross stitches and learning some specialty stitches. This just has 2 specialty stitches, the satin stitch for the acorn, and then the half road stitch in the basket. These are very well explained in the chart, so I think this would be a good piece for a beginner stitcher thinking about getting into the intermediate category. The other thing about this piece that I love is the Dinky Dyes. Last time I said it was needlepoint ink silk, and I misspoke. Needlepoint ink silks are all solid color, and the Dinky Dyes are variegated. And as you can see, these are very nicely variegated. I love how the pumpkin turned out. So I worked these stitches vertically to get the pumpkin ribs. And then here in the apple basket, I test piloted. I did these two apples horizontally, which I didn't really like. And then I did this one vertically, which I still didn't like so much. And then I did these all in a circular pattern. So I went on the outside and then just worked my way in. And I think those turned out the best. I'm not going to pick those stitches out. That's just the way it's going to be. And then I changed the chart here. Sorry, you guys. I'm seeing there. That's better. I changed the stitches here on this squirrel to look like our local Douglas / chicory squirrels. They have a white belly, and they're so cute. So there we go. Autumn Welcome by the Drawn Thread. And that is the Welcome series. And I have completed the summer, which I showed you last time. So I'm kind of sad that I don't have another Drawn Thread Welcome until the winter. So yeah, I did. I had to go shopping, and I have the Welcome Halloween and the Welcome Christmas on the way. Okay, the other finish that I have is Plum Street Samplers Ghoul. It's the G series by them, and I did manage to finish this. I loved it. This is on 40 count vintage Meadow Rue with needlepoint ink silks. So these are all solid colored silks. And this little squirrel with the evil ears is so fun. And then the face is over one. So this is one thread over one linen stitch. The rest of the chart is one thread of silk over two threads of linen. Cool. Then so the first piece in that series is Gather, which I showed you last time that I finished over the summer. That was a mania start. So was the Ghoul. Okay, so then we go on to whips. This is going to be the never-ending whip, I think. It's the Tingles, Halloween Tingles by Lizzie Kate. This is a big piece. I'm stitching it all on one piece of fabric. And I got one more section done the October 31st. So I've got 3 of the 12 little sections done. Each chart comes with 2 designs. Next up is going to be just Batty. I went ahead and got the buttons from the Just Another Button Company. Tingles, really cute little candy corn, moon, owl, etc. There's 20 buttons here. And here's the placement chart. So you can see they're in place of stitches. So there's a candy corn button that's going to go here. We'll see how much further I get on this year. I'm not enjoying it as much as I had hoped, but it's fun. Halloween's my favorite holiday, so I started the Lizzie Kate Spooky String. And a little more than halfway done, except I'm missing 2 thread colors. So there's some stitches in there. This is what it will look like. Quick stitch. I have only worked 2 nights on this, so we'll get that done before Halloween for sure. I did do over the summer the Buzzy String piece, which was fun. Yeah, I like my finishing. Finishing is not my forte, but we'll get better. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you guys what you thought. I used all the called for colors, And this is Weeks Dye Works Gold here for the A, and then part of the candy corn, and then the moon. And I'm just not, it looks kind of murky. I thought it was going to be a brighter yellow from the picture. So I was wondering if I should pick that out and use curry. What do you think? Let me know. It's not much stitching to pick out, and I might be happier with the piece. So. Okay, that's actually it for WIP. So that, means I get to have some new starts. So next up is going to be the Scarlet House Button-Eyed Cat. I've never done a pincushion or scissor fob, so we're going into new territory. Have to figure out how to finish. Now, the cat is charted completely in cross stitch, but I think the buttons really, make the piece. So I'm gonna have to start the hunt for some tortoiseshell buttons. Pretty cute. That should be a quick stitch. Get done before Halloween. And then I'm very excited to start Gobble, the third in the G series by Plum Street Samplers. And this I'm going to do on the called for 40 count vintage light exemplar using the needlepoint ink silks. So that's ready to go. Yay. Okay, not much purchases, just one actually. And this is from Kaniki's. Jan Hicks Creates, made me do it. So I got one chart, and this is a cute package. This little wrapping paper, what kind of paper that she used. So I got Winter Wonderland. And then of course, I think what makes this piece is the fabric. So I did get the fabric. It's called Printed Sepia Trees. And like, hello, that's what my wallpaper is. Printed Sepia Trees. Let me get this backing. So super cool. I've never seen this before. This is on Jan Hicks Creates. I think it was a mania start for her. And I just really love the idea of printed fabric. It gives it this 3D effect and super cool. I ordered this in preparation for some winter stitching, December stitching. I like to stitch seasonally, and Kaniki's site says, allow 4 weeks. So I thought, yeah, I better get my order in before December. And wow, it came really quickly. It was about 2 weeks from when I ordered it, but that's based on her production schedule. She does all of that by hand. You should watch her videos because she talks about the process that she goes through to make those, to do her linens, and it's fun. It's nice. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, so that's a 32 count Sepia Trees linen, and she included the cutest card that I wanted to show you guys because I love sheep. And oh well. Anyway, this was the other thing I was going to show you on the Ghoul. This, out of a skein of black silk floss, this is all I had left. Yeah, that's on 40 count, so lots of black. But the motifs were a fun stitch. Okay, plans. Yeah, I went through plans, told you. So, yeah, I think we're done. Thanks, FlossTube. It's been fun hanging out with you. I appreciate all you new viewers, all the guys that came back for video 2. And next time, be sure to hit subscribe so that you know when my next video is posted. I'm going to show a WIP that I have from 2001 that I finally finished last December. And I'm saying it out loud because I want to fully finish it and get it out of my hair by my next video. And if I say it out loud, it has to happen, right? Okay. Thanks, FlossTube. Have a great day.